I want to show you an example of the danger of right wing's constant demonization of particular groups. They're running with these narratives that aren't at all true about certain groups and their motives and all of these things. This time specifically, you guessed it, about trans people. So I've tweeted out one time that I went and watched a right-wing show just because I wanted to see what happens over there, right? Because I see moments when we'll cover them on the show, but what does just a normal full show look like? And it was just all about trans people. And so here's an example of a very real world effect that is caused. Now, it's not directly tied at this moment, but you'll see why that would be suspected. So here is a right-wing commentator named Matt Walsh going after Boston Children's Hospital. Boston Children's Hospital for a false idea that he had, a false story he was running with, that they were mutilating children to make them trans, right? And then you'll see at the bottom half of the screen, after he's done talking, the report on CNN about what happened at Boston Children's Hospital, likely because of this type of false information that's being put out.
Today on the Matt Walsh Show, children's hospitals around the country are butchering, mutilating, and sterilizing their young patients. So according to Boston Children's Hospital, literally every toddler who has ever been born or will ever be born is trans. Now, if it seems like they're casting the widest imaginable net in order to catch the most children they can and put them all on a path to sterilization and butchery before they can even...
So he's just blatantly lying, right?
...talk? Well, that's because that's exactly what these monsters are doing. And they've done it up until this moment without much resistance from the public. But that has to end. We have to stop making it so easy on them. And that's why I'm in the very early stages of trying to organize a national coordinated effort to fight back against this evil. You know, it's really just a matter of where do we begin? Maybe we begin at Boston Children's Hospital.
And then 2 days later, this is the report that comes out of CNN.
Boston Children's Hospital says its staff is being threatened and harassed now after far-right activists on social media posted misinformation claiming they perform gender-affirming hysterectomy procedures on young girls. The hospital says it's not true. They do not perform those procedures for anyone under the age of 18. Boston Children's Hospital says it is proud, though, to be home to the first pediatric and adolescent transgender health program in the United States. The hospital, though, now is working with law enforcement to try to better protect its staff.
It's so heartbreaking. And when I see situations like this, I wish that I could look in the face, and probably would get nothing of it, of these far right people and say, do you not understand the effect of your actions? Do you not understand that, okay, you're grifting, you're making the money, you're peddling these false stories, but because of it, people are going out and making the lives of, in this example, healthcare workers much worse. So reading a little bit about this, Catherine Levi was behind bars Thursday pending a detainment hearing Friday on charges of calling in a false bomb threat on August 30th. The exchange, the FBI said in documents, was a quick one, an operator answering the phone with a standard greeting, and then Levi telling them there's a bomb on the way to the hospital, you better evacuate everybody, you sickos. So this is a flooding. That's one example of someone who's now being, wrapped up in law enforcement for it. But there was an outpouring of these threats being made towards these healthcare workers, towards the hospital. And it has to be in a direct response to people like Matt Walsh and this right-wing universe that is spreading this false information. So even I repeat this 1,000 times, but people clearly don't hear it. The idea that children are having sex reassignment surgery is just not true. Okay, we've talked about this. It's not true. They love to pretend that this is a thing. That is something that adults have access to after making that decision about themselves. And if you think in a free country that adults shouldn't be able to go and have a surgery if they want it, okay, you really flipped around right-wingers on your stance on this type of stuff. But it's really, really crazy. It's wild that they feel so bold in spreading this false information, and then they see the effects of their actions and they don't care. Matt Walsh, he's not going to call out to his followers to stop doing stuff like this. He's not going to apologize for the lies he spread. No, he gets the benefits of the audience, of the rage that he stokes in them, and then he walks away. And I'll say again, we don't know it's Matt Walsh specifically, but he's an example of this information that was being spread that caused this to happen. And we're going to see this time and time again as this continues to be the right's favorite course of action, which is demonizing this particular group and everyone associated who's trying to help them. This hospital is trying to provide a specialized area that can help trans youth. You can say that that's all horrible, but guess what? Trans youth exist. They're going to need help through that process. It's not them getting sex reassignment surgery, but it's wonderful that people are trying to help, trying to be there for people in those moments. But I guess that can't be conceived of in Matt Walsh's brain. Instead, what he knows is people really love when his segments are done pretending like kids are being butchered in Boston Children's Hospital, and it's leading to real effects.